When a houseplant begins to yellow and droop, the natural response is to provide more care. But in many cases, this decline isn't caused by neglect. It's caused by an excess of kindness. Beneath the surface, roots pull oxygen from the soil to fuel their growth. They must breathe to absorb the water and nutrients the rest of the plant needs to survive. If the soil is constantly saturated, water physically displaces every pocket of life-saving oxygen. This creates an anaerobic environment where roots literally drown. Overwatered plants exhibit a visual contradiction. They droop in the exact same manner as a plant dying of thirst. This visual mimicry often leads caretakers to add even more water. This initiates a destructive loop where the intended cure actually accelerates the plant's collapse. Shifting from a routine-based caretaker to a responsive ecosystem manager begins with understanding how this suffocation happens. We can stop this cycle with a 5-step intervention designed to remove damaged tissue and reset the subterranean environment. This operation requires specific tools: sterilized pruning shears, a container with drainage holes at the base, and coarse soil amendments like bark or perlite. Perlite is a volcanic mineral that expands when heated, creating lightweight granules that prevent soil from compacting. These tools are necessary to rebuild the physical environment the plant relies on for its survival. Step 1 is an immediate and total halt to all watering. You must resist the urge to hydrate those drooping leaves while the roots are struggling to breathe. Use the finger test as your only diagnostic tool. Probe the soil 1 to 2 inches beneath the surface. If it feels damp, your plant does not need moisture. Once the soil has dried, step 2 is engineering an escape route for future water to prevent the problem from returning. Dense clay soil traps water against roots. Mixing in coarse amendments creates structural gaps, allowing water to flow through, but gravity needs a way out. Without a drainage hole at the container's bottom, even the best soil becomes a stagnant pool. Establishing a permanent physical escape route is the only way to ensure the roots have access to the oxygen they need over the long term. Step 3 involves removing the plant from its pot to assess damage hidden beneath the surface. Healthy roots are firm to the touch and appear white or light tan. Rotten roots are easy to identify by their dark brown color and mushy texture. They often give off a distinct sour odor as the tissue decays. Use your sterilized shears to precisely sever the rotting sections. You must remove all the dark necrotic tissue to save the healthy mass. It may feel counterintuitive to cut a struggling plant, but this amputation stops the spread of decay and allows the plant to focus its biological energy on new growth. After trimming, repot the plant into your new aerated soil mix to provide a clean starting point for recovery. Removing this dead weight is a necessary act of preservation, moving the plant from a state of active rot into a state of healing. Step 4 is the abandonment of fixed watering schedules. Instead of watering on a specific day of the week, you will now water based on observation. Switch to a deep and infrequent watering strategy. This means soaking the soil thoroughly, then waiting for it to dry out before watering again. Frequent shallow watering keeps roots weak and localized near the surface. Deep watering encourages roots to grow downward toward the bottom of the pot, creating a much more resilient plant. Step 5 requires you to calibrate your care based on the environment around the plant. Factors like high humidity, excessive shade, or cooler seasonal temperatures reduce the rate of evaporation. During these times, the plant's physiological demand for water drops significantly. Look for early indicators of overwatering, such as the lowest leaves turning yellow or the appearance of white mold on the soil surface. These are signals that the soil is retaining too much moisture. Successful horticulture relies on a continuous, real-time response to environmental feedback and biological signals, rather than a fixed calendar schedule. Once the intervention is complete, the plant sits in a highly oxygenated environment where the roots can finally function again. You will see the results as the plant restores its turgor pressure. This is the internal water pressure that keeps plant cells rigid. As it returns, drooping leaves will lift and their vibrant color will begin to reappear. This recovery happens gradually. Expect to see visible growth and color correction over the next 1 to 2 weeks. True botanical care is about providing the specific balance of air and water required for an independent ecosystem to thrive. By doing less, but doing it intelligently, you give your plants the space they need to breathe.